how, in your opinion, are we supposed to be a light unto the nations? Because if there's this, I think there's something that I struggle with, of that if we're supposed to be a light unto the nations and we believe that we do have MS, why don't we preach out to the rest of the world? Not to bring them to Judaism, but just to give a taste of the MS.
So I think, honestly, you mentioned 2 points. I'll address them, I guess, in order that you mentioned them. First of all, I think the first way to be a light onto anyone or anything, including yourself, is to lead by example. We kind of skip the first part of life and the first part of the mark we want to make in this world because we think it's too global. If you got the wrong lens and you're thinking too far away, then you're missing what's in front of you. The first step to being a light onto anything is to live by example. Fix yourself, live by standards that you believe are correct as much as you're able to, and then look what to do further. It's not fix the world, and then I'll eventually get to fixing me. No, it's fix yourself and your immediate surroundings. What kind of effect are you having in your immediate surroundings? You want to send a message to the world? Okay, you got time for that. What are you telling yourself, first of all, when you start your day? What are you telling your students if you have students? How are you interacting with your coworkers? That's how Joseph became the most successful man that ever lived, by affecting his immediate surroundings with this energy, this goodness, this blessing, this success, in bringing out the goodness in him and in everyone around him, and unifying everyone to. He just was a walking success, a miracle of success, because he became a conduit for it. So in the same way that he went into a prison and fixed the prison, he went to the Saramashkin's place and he fixed, not the Saramashkin, the Potiphar. He went to Potiphar's place and he put him in charge. And everywhere he went, he was put in charge of wherever he went. Okay, so it's a nice story. He was Mr. Success, but how did he do it? If you were going to interview Yosef HaTzadik, if you were going to actually go down there and make a documentary of the Yosef HaTzadik story, how would it look? So it would look like a person that you'd have to film second by second. I mean, there'd be scenes. If we were making the Hollywood blockbuster, we'd have to film scenes. We'd have to capture the essence of what Yosef was, and what the essence of what he was positivity, respect that he's a visitor in God's world, and respect that he has to respect the other visitors. And through goodness and through being connected to who he was and to, of course, Hashem and Hashem's world, he was able to unify. It wasn't, it's something that's a little bit beyond us in this day and age to really fully understand, but that's some of what I understand and what I try to meditate on, is that he became a conduit to look for where something was missing, look where there was a need, look how he could help, and he brought so many things together in Mitzrayim. He's an amazing story to really get into in much more detail, but I'm not doing any justice. But using him as a prime example of start with your immediate proximity. And he did that, and every place he went to, from himself looking outward, he fixed. Okay, so that's the first light unto a nation. Be a light unto the nations by being in control of yourself and doing what you can with your immediate surroundings. It's interesting, if you're looking you could be so far, you have this, again, like I said, this lens where you're just thinking about fixing the world. Then you don't get anywhere. You get nowhere.
I feel like sometimes everybody has like some sort of Mashiach complex. Like they want to fix the world, but it has to be my way. Like we're gonna fix everything's gonna be green, because if everything's recyclable, every reusable energy, all of it will save the world. I feel like everybody wants to save the world, but they want to do it their way.
That's not so bad. Again, but you got to be practical, and fixing the world begins with what's in your reach to fix. God put you in a place, and if you want to ignore the place you're in and think that that's how you're going to fix the world, that's how you do the opposite, because you skip the person that really needs you. There's a person in front of you that needs help. You want to look past him because you want to fix everybody. Well, start with the one person you could fix. That's why the Rambam says, help one person, save one person, you've saved the entire world. So that's the first step. You mentioned another idea, which by the time I got into all this, I forgot what the second point you meant was. But so the first idea of being a light unto the nations is just fix what's in front of you. The second thing that I was going to respond to next, which I completely forgot now, was, I don't remember. What was the second thing you mentioned at the end of your comment?
What was the second thing I mentioned at the end of my comment? I think I also forgot as I was listening to you, because I'm trying to pick up what you're saying, and I believe that I'm a very ignorant person. Like I struggle to make decisions. I struggle. It's one of these things about with Yiddishkeit, with Judaism. I like struggle holding on to Torah mitzvahs. I have like this strong belief. I understand there's a God. I understand that there is a creator of the universe. Just in my world, it doesn't make sense that there wouldn't be. And I want to believe that he gave the Torah to the Jewish people. And I've never been fully convinced that the Rebbe Shalom gave the Torah to the Jewish people, but I want to believe it's true for some reason.
That's interesting.
There's a pull. I have this pull to want to learn Torah and to want to be able to put Torah into my life, but it's as if right now I'm not ready to have the relationship with the Rebbe Shalom that the Rebbe Shalom writes out. I need to have it like on my terms at the current moment, because my relationship with most people and with God has been I do for you and you do for me, and it's never worked out for me. I'll follow the mitzvahs if I get this. I'll follow them, and it just always kind of implodes. And that's been relationships for me in general.
Here, this is an interesting thing. What I will say is, belief is a very, very, very difficult, touchy subject to get involved in, because the very nature of belief is really something that's a bit above and beyond what we're in control of. That's really the biggest issue with belief. How come I believe in God, and how come the person next to me doesn't? There is no answer to such a question, because belief isn't something that we're in total control of. And so it's important not to judge others. In my opinion, of course, this is my opinion, that we shouldn't judge others that don't believe in Hashem, whether they're trying or not. Also, because I know myself in my journey through life, there was a time when, I never had an issue with believing that or not believing in a God that created everything, but I didn't have any connection with that or any relationship with it. I wasn't practicing anything. I was practicing in just being me and having as much fun as I can, and just very absorbed with my life and what I wanted out of my life. And that's it. It often becomes money, power, and fun, and we'll keep this simple without getting into the details, and enjoying oneself. That's what my life was about. It was only at about 20 when I started thinking a bit deeper than that. So I never had the question of believing if God was real or not. And fortunately, I believe in my case, maybe call it being Sephardic, coming from Sephardic background, we tend to have been more pure believers. I never really questioned whether the Torah was from God. I mean, it was complicated to accept something like, why in the world would God care if I tear toilet paper on Saturday? That just makes zero sense. And it still makes zero sense. Why can't I carry something from one domain to another? I had all these questions, but they might have bothered me, but they didn't cause me to not believe in God and not believe in that the Torah was from Hashem.